is 5 to a bed in the hospital. Yeah. And we can't hear a word from Health Minister Kamal. Whoa. Black dirty water we had to drink. Was I say clean, but the smell is stink. And my friend, the worry, money ain't no problem. My friend, the shouting, money ain't no problem. Whoa. Yeah. You can't even use your phone to dial a prayer. Yeah. All the phones in a mess and it's like nobody care. Whoa. You can't even call the Prime Minister. He got the phones in the Gulf of Paria. My friend, they're shouting, money ain't no problem. Lord, money ain't no problem. The AG started a drive to stop corruption. Yeah. All them wheeling and dealing big shots was in confusion. Whoa. They threatened to kill, but they keep on still. Suddenly he stop. They pass a bill, my friend. They balling, money ain't no problem. My friend, don't doubt me, money ain't no problem. Whoa. Yeah. All them politicians today, they just full of smoke. Whoa. Only making foolish mistakes and calling it joke. Yeah. So much of people on the streets today, and we can't build a home for them to stay. My friend, they're balling, money ain't no problem. Hey, my friend, don't doubt me, money ain't no problem.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Our roads are the worst in the Caribbean. We have the most traffic jams you have ever seen. Yeah. When it rains, water spending pain. Them drain on the strain, so it's flood again. My friend, don't doubt me, money ain't no problem. Yeah. My friend, you're balling, money ain't no problem. Public transport in this wealthy country so bad. Yeah. Trying to get home on evenings could drive you mad. I tell you, if you see buses park up by some key and 3/4 ain't working properly, and my friend, they're balling, money ain't no problem. Whoa. Money ain't no problem.
Blessing, welcome to you 97.5 FM douglAR Radio. Of course, today being hot like pepper. Corky, on the mosquito crack that they call the Mosquito Creek, a vehicle breakdown. And what happened on that road, there's no shoulder. And that traffic back up all the way from the traffic light straight back down to SM Jalil. Miles upon miles of traffic. Simply because a vehicle breaks down on the creek and there is no shoulder to push the vehicle on the side. And that is what people continue to experience over this week, because sometime this week there was a minor accident. And it's the same thing that keep reoccurring because of no shoulder. They had, and I know that at one time they say, well, look, it's temporary, but this is what will happen all the time when something like that happens. Yes. So good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless, we are here. Remember, at 7:30, we will be crossing over to douglAR Politics Live with none other than Senator Anil Roberts, who will continue to bring the current day events and what is happening in the political arena, things that will continue to affect you going forward in this country. Koki, we see that more and more information keeps coming out in relation to Minister Foster comments. We have seen Koki added to the allegations, or a matter of fact, added to the special branch report with the land situation and the alleged connection with the mafious drug gangster and so on and so on. We are now seeing a venture, an alleged venture, an account, 1.8 million that were placed in that account allegedly by MTS, and it's for, as the document will state, for emergency work in relation to a secondary school in the said Arcuva area. And of course, when we examine the facts coming out of that document that that is leaked, it seems as though that the tank have a hole, Koki, and with that hole, information keep running out, and that will tell you something, you know. That tells you that the people of this country is so fed up with the mass corruption with this PNM government that people intend to leak every bit of information that is hiding, because, Koki, this is alleged to happen since back down when this man was a senator, you know. This is quite back in 2019, yet another document. And there's many intricacies in relation to that, where you might very well see that the credit union have questions to answer, apart from the wife of this individual and him also. And the list goes on. The list goes on. And I am trying to understand, I am trying to very much understand why it is in this country, when we hold these high officials, when we catch them, when there is evidence against them, what we do in this country, Koki, is that we ask them to resign. And that is the end of the story. Once they resign, the chapter closed. And why it is, when the small man at the side of the road try the same kind of underhand method and get caught, how we do not, Koki, tell these young boys and young ladies to just bring back what all they take and call it a day. No, we put them before the court and we send them to the nation prisons. That is what we do. So I am advocating, I am saying that the same law that punish the small man, it must be the same law to punish the big man. It must be the same law to punish these government officials. Because you cannot tell me those who have been entrusted to protect and to guard the public purse, when these individuals pilfer, let me break it down. I like to break it down for the man on the street to understand. When these individuals steal our money, steal it, what we do is we ask them to resign, and we pat them on the back and tell them, thief next time, but don't get caught. That's what we do. Pat them on the back and say, thief next time, my brother. But do a good job. Don't get caught. You know, there's a song that someone sing, Koki. He asked the Lord to stop me from cheating. But however, just don't let me get caught.
Don't let me get caught.
Don't let me get caught. I go cheat, but don't let me get caught. And I mean, this is the reality that we face in this country. We have seen corruption from the PNM, from the inception of 56 coming up the road. And we have not witnessed or in any way have any historical evidence that any of these culprits had made any time in prison whatsoever. Matter of fact, I could remember we had a matter where Franklin Kahn and Eric Williams was charged. That was in relation to a matter with Dan Suk. That was the seismograph man. And that is the onlyest recollection that I could share. But when we have these ministers, these top brass, stealing from the public purse, all we ask them to do is to resign, and life goes on. We just tell them, look, send your resignation, let me have it on the desk. And that's the end of the story, Corky. Corky, we have an investigation going on since about 2018, 2019, thereabout, with Camille Robinson Regis with $143,800. And all we continue to hear from 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, an election will call, and we will still be hearing that it is under investigation. That is all we hear in this country, this 2x4 country, that we continue to persecute the youths and them in this country when they take pattern from our leaders and they do the same thing that our leaders doing to us. We imprison them, we send them to jail, but the youths just following the leader, they just following the pattern that is set by those who are charged with the responsibility to protect the public purse. And our country, we glorify in this kind of wrongdoing because we have it to believe that is we party. So in other words, we party can do no wrong. We party could thief the life out of a human body, and they could do no wrong, because that is what is happening, Corky. When you steal from the public purse, you are stealing the future of the generation. You are stealing the future of the youths. You are stealing the future of those unborn babies. And we condone this. We celebrate that. We are saying that our party could do no wrong. And once it's our party that do it, we are quite comfortable. We will defend all wrongdoing because it's we party. That is what Trinidad and Tobago supports. That is what we support. Keep, which we can consider to be the Trinidad and Tobago Secret Service. What they do is a number of activities. They investigate also any threat to national security, whether internal or external. They investigate any and every group in this country who may speak against the government. For instance, like myself. They do their investigation. They keep tabs on your statements. They examine your statements. They look into your statements to see if it's seditious. They look into your statements to see if it's also incitement, if it's inciting violence. They look at all these things. The special branch will investigate all these various trade unions based on their utterance. They will look into those activities. They will look into religious activities. And they also look in potential candidates for the election. Right. Worst again, government and opposition. They look into your background. They look into what you do. They look into how you ascertain your finances. They look at your company. You see on the first report, it is also alleged that this same individual is a friend of a drug dealer. Right. they do their job. Now, what they also do is that those files would be submitted to the head of special branch. Now, one of the problems that we face in this country is that we have these so-called independent institutions that align themselves with a political party. Let me break that down. We will have, from time to time, different section heads who align themselves with various political parties. Coming out of that, what you will get is that some of these individuals, they will also report to the Prime Minister. And they report to the Prime Minister for more than one reason. One of the reasons is to stay in the good book with who in charge. Another reason is to solicit any form of assistance from whoever in charge. You following where I'm going?
Yes.
So what they do is that some of these reports, who should go through the chain of command, through the Commissioner of Police, and also sent to the Director of Public Prosecution. What you will find is because of political alliance, some of these reports would be shelved. Some of these reports may never even reach the Commissioner. If the Commissioner of Police is a neutral individual, if the Commissioner of Police is about to uphold law and order, something that we do not have in this country. We do not have it in this country, Corky. Because coming out of the first file, I have heard commissioners and acting commissioners saying that they were aware of this file. And if you are aware of this file from since 2019, how come in 2022 these files have never reached the Director of Public Prosecution? You know what they BS you with? They BS the public by telling you that it's under investigation. That is a simple methodology to tell you mind your business. That is all that is, you know. Okay. When the commissioner, an acting commissioner, will tell you, the country, that it is under investigation, that is only to tell you mind your business.
Or shut up.
Or shut your mouth. Because we have the Camille Robinson Regis allegations.
Yes.
Still under investigation. You have an anti-corruption bureau. You have state funding. You have the national legal person within the various arms of the TTPS. Right. We have those attorneys that you could consider, some being police, some being private attorneys that is hired by the TTPS to give advice and to look into other matters. What you trying to tell me that from 2018, 2019 to now, with all the resources that is available, you are now telling me that the A&V oil scandal is still under investigation from since 2016. Right. The Camille Robinson Regis, 143,800 is still under investigation from 2018-19. And there is a number of other investigations that is still under investigation today as we speak. Today as we speak.
Yes.
You are telling me, Corky, that with all the resources and the legal attorneys that the TTPS hire, with all the international help that they could request from time to time, you are telling me today that all these criminal activities, allegedly, is still under investigation. But how come? How come if Corky defraud the state bank or the treasury, defraud them, how come in a matter of weeks, Corky D is before the court? How come, Corky? This is the political games that they continue to play with the citizens of this country. And the citizens of this country continue to play what we could consider to be party games with themselves. They play with themselves, Corky. Because you cannot tell me that we have all these files that former commissioner of police, now acting commissioner of police, telling us that they are aware, but they are so concerned about who leaked the information to the public domain than prosecuting those who commit the offense.
Yeah. So this thing with it, these are fast then.
Fastest joke. This is political games that is being played among the high circle of wrongdoers. This political game that you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, allow to happen, it is the same games that Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro and Delcy Rodriguez and others play with the people of Venezuela, that even though they are about the second largest single oil producer within the hemisphere, yet still poverty is the number one priority. Poverty continue to plague every citizen of that country until they had to run to us for refuge, while we are following the same pattern that they exercise in Venezuela. You see, when all you see Rowley and Stuart Young and them dancing with Maduro, I want to ask Rowley and Stuart Young if they were dancing because they have gotten the recipe how to rob this country. That is my question. I am asking Rowley and Stuart Young if when Olia was dancing with Nicolas Maduro, was it to say that y'all have gotten the green book, the book of cookery, the book of robbery, the book of deception, the book of deceitfulness, the book of wickedness, the book to create poverty amongst your people? That is my question today. That is my question. Because you cannot tell me a prime minister, but you see Trinidad and Tobago, if you see 5 kobo and 1 pigeon on an electric line, and you chase them and everybody fly, and you ask the average man how much kobo you see fly there, they will tell you 5 big one and a young one, because pigeon have no right to be amongst kobo. So they will tell you it's 5 large, huge kobo and a young one. That is what they will tell you. And that is what we are getting in this country. We have 7 men in government who continue to rob this country. And the rest of them, they are just young ones among the older folks. So what I'm telling you today is that all of them is thief. All who's sitting in government today, they are thieves. You know why? They will never expose or stand up against the wrongdoing of this government. Never. They will never. You know why? They will never, because there is benefits. There is money. There is position. There is houses. There is Karani land. There is privileges. There is immunity. And that is why today we have a bunch of thieves running this country. That is what we have. A bunch of thieves running this country. That is what is happening, Trinidad. And that is what we support. That is what you support. That is what you are encouraging your children to do. And that is what they will have to do to survive. They will have to thief and rob to survive in this country. And don't blame them when the one or two good police kill them. When the one or two good police kill them, don't get vexed, you know. Because the one or two good police, they intend to do the job. They intend to do their job. They intend to settle with what they have. Not like those at the hem who continue to allow the political directorate to push the knobs and to use them like a spanner. That is what they use them for, like a spanner. To turn here and turn there. That is what we have had over the years, sitting as commissioners of police. Not one, not two, but over the years. I could go back, you know, because let me tell you something. I could go back. I like a bad cut, you know. I like a bad cut we get wet, you know. A high information like sand, you know. I could go back. I could go back and tell you all the PNM commissioner police that exist. All. Everyone. Even the one who tell Vernon Paul to go back to Venezuela. I will come and take the statement there. Because this implications is too high with high officers within government in the PNM. And all you know what happened? When Vernon Paul landed in Caracas, and he catch the taxi to go back into the safe house. Two motorbike men ride alongside him. And that was the end of Vernon Paul, better known as Preacher.
Well, he was shot.
He was executed after a commissioner of police. Vernon Paul is the man who came and exposed the Sonic Bash fiasco when he was speaking about high-ranking PNM ministers involved in the cocaine and mortar bomb that was found in Sonic Bash tank. You hear what I telling you?
Sad.
So don't feel this thing is a game. This is no game. The commissioners of police who passed through for the last decade, while some of them were serious about fighting small collar crime, or let me put it the next way, black collar crime, they were never serious about fighting white collar crime. It's black collar crime that they fight in this Trinidad and Tobago. For those of you who don't understand, for those of you who doesn't understand, the black collar crime that they fight in this country is to lock up the little black boy on the side of the road, on the drug block. Those who will try a little counterfeit, a little money laundering, a little car stealing. That is the crime that they were fighting over the years. But the white collar crime that Rowley talk about, the white collar crime that Rowley talk about, it is nothing but talk, old talk. Rowley, you ready to deal with white collar crime? Well, tell us, as you say, you may or may have not seen the report. Rowley, you want me to believe that? Rowley, you want me, Victor Roberts, to believe what you say? Rowley, I don't believe a word that you say. And I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. Because it does lie. You does lie, Keith Rowley. And you does lie stink. You does lie to the whole country. You stood up, Keith Rowley, and you said to us that you, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, is not closing down Petrotrin. And what happened 2 weeks after, Rowley?
All.
What happened after, Rowley? Rowley, is you that tell us, you know. You stood up and you said that you were not aware of PDVSA high officials on that delegation with Delcy Rodriguez. You said to us that you are now coming to know someone by the name of Astrobal Chavez. You remember that, Rowley? And you tell us that they come to talk about COVID. Boy, let me tell you something. If God was like man, boy, your little tongue stick in all your mouth. All your tongue stick up in all your mouth. So you tell us you may or may not have seen that report. Well, I ask you a question here now, Rowley. What about this alleged venture? 1.8 million. Tell us if you were aware or were not aware, according to you. You may have been aware or you may not have been aware. Tell us. You tell us. You see, just the other day, everybody singing a song. Faris must go, Faris must go, Faris must go. And you come and they bring the road march. Faris, 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 Faris. You know, the idiotic kind of behavior that you continue to demonstrate. And guess what? All the reshuffle Faris and the whole country, all the talkers who were talking about Faris had to go. Jeffrey, you hear anything about Faris had to go again?
No, only your own batch.
That's what I'm telling you. So they reshuffle, and that's the end of the talk. That is the end of the talk. The whole of Trinidad, Rhoda Barrett and all of them, everybody forget about Faris now. She was best spokesperson for the government in terms of getting Faris removed. He had to go. He must go. But guess what? They move him from Attorney General and everybody forget Faris. Make money somewhere else, Faris, and collect your rent.
Well, yesterday we was talking about the 100 million.
You understand? So the point I'm making, Trinidad and Tobago, is why those elected officials who you, the people, have entrusted with the power to spend your money and to spend your money not only equitable, but honestly. Why you sitting down and allowing all these and hear what they will tell you? The PNM acting commissioner will tell you that information is separate from evidence. All right, Mr. PNM acting commissioner. If information is only information and it is not evidence, then you tell this country what you does use to gather evidence. You tell us what you does use to gather evidence. Tell us, isn't the same information that you saying is only information? Isn't the police that tell us they receive certain information and they ascertain a search warrant and went to number one, whatever street, number one place, where they conducted a search, and 2 firearms was found, and 2 individuals in the house was arrested and charged? That know what else tell we? So it's not information does bring the evidence. It's not when you act upon the information the evidence will come out. So who acted upon the information that the special branch brought? And wasn't the special branch, wasn't they a arm of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service? Are they not trained? Are they not individuals who would be able to gather information that is relevant to create an investigation for people to be arrested? The special branch doesn't bring information and say that we have a religious organization and our information is that they're planning this and they're planning that. Why only doesn't wait until they execute the plan and then say, the information was right? Only doesn't go and act on the information? Only doesn't jump out and get search warrant and do what all they have to do? Only doesn't take that and go by the DPP? So how come when it's government official, it is only information? Information for 2 years. 19, 20, 21, 22. Going on 3 years. And it's just on a shelf. It's information. So we have new information come out here now. And we have what is alleged to be the evidence. An account with a name, an account with a man wife involved, checks with a credit union name. Well, you see, they got to tell you how all that happened, Jeffrey. Yeah, because I want to know if the credit union is who get the contract to do the work. So when they started telling me alleged checks make out on the credit union, on the credit union name, then the credit union had to tell we what go on. We have plenty questions inside it to answer. So I hope that Mr. Jacob, who is the independent acting commissioner, right? Mr. Jacob, who is the independent acting commissioner, let we hear what he had to say. Let we hear if he could tell me it's just information.
Well, when I say that just now, it sent my brain and now went through Google here. It say all evidence is information. I mean Google say. So I don't know. All evidence is information, but not all information is evidence. Meaning the separation comes whether it's credible or not.
That is what you're talking about. So all information, Jeffrey,
is evidence.
Exactly. So what the police do now is that they go through the information and then they take out what is actually credible. Because let me tell you something. Information would also have, when you look at the report from the SAPCA report, when you listen to his narrative in terms of questions being that the report was vetted and sanitized and so on and so on, he said that, look, members of the task force did not want to sign off on things that they couldn't prove.
All right.
But not because you cannot prove something means that it didn't happen.
Yeah, but that also say that argument from ignorance, because by you saying the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence in it.
Right. So when you say that there is things that they didn't want to sign off on because you can't prove it, then it will lead me to ask our next question. And the question that will lead me to ask is this: what was your job spec in relation to this task force? Was you the police in this task force to say that you can't prove it, so you leave it out? Let me take the call. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Roberts. You know, when I first moved here about 7 years ago, right, I started reading a lot about Trinidad, and I wanted, because I really didn't live here for 45 years, and I wanted to be part of this country. And the only way to be part of it is to know the history of this country. And I'll tell you something, I read so many cases of child abuse. Because on the internet, when you start searching, you just dig and you get bigger and wider. But you have to kind of go to the old books and the old history books, because there are history books and thesis papers that were written, but they're not, publicly accessible easily. You have to be kind of savvy to dig through this. And I remember reading the Akil Chambers case, and I read some of the notes, and I went through articles, and I remember, after I read that, I got scared. You know why? It was kind of like a Jeffrey Epstein thing, where you have this guy who has so much money and it's a big secret. Nobody knows how he invests his money. All they know is that he's kind of weird. And this report reminded me of a conspiracy, like where we, like adult public, we are treated like children. And it's like they withhold information from us. And in that Akil Chambers case, the coroner was the prosecutor, and the coroner was asking some very deep, real pressing questions. It was like there were people there who wanted to help, but they were they were scared to put their foot forward, and they were complicit and complacent, and it's carried on through decades of abuse. How many children went through those homes? They should have been in protective custody. Those children are adults. Some of them are dysfunctional. Many of them may have killed themselves. Do you know, when people go through that kind of trauma, especially children, they carry it with them for the rest of their life. It never leaves. It never ends. And they have to go through years and years of therapy. And, for a leader as the Prime Minister, I shift that whole burden on the PNM. And in my heart and in my mind, I know they're guilty.
All right, Cola, you gotta wrap up. We gotta wrap up. We gotta go for the break.
They have very close ties with the church. And look at those places. The majority were religious oriented. The church owned, in 2015, 16, 17, church started selling off all their properties for millions of dollars.
Thank you, Cola, but we have to go for the break now.
What is going on in this country that we can't...
Cola, sorry, I had to cut you, but because we have to go for the break now.
New 97.5, make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM, music for you.
105 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Farbinger Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station, Shogunas, will be closing on Monday, May 23rd. Check out our unique bridal collection or even dresses to attend the wedding, handicrafts, footwear, jewelry, furniture, and so much more. All in one store. Perfect place for Mother's Day shopping and outing. Enjoy delicious authentic Indian food at Tandoori King, Star Hakka, and Dosa Diner. Newly opened Bombay Chaat, Pani Puri, and lots more. Farbinger Expo opposite the Medford gas station, Shogunas. Check us out. We're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
La Penca and Bees Hi-Fi presents Return to Real Rock Sunday, 22nd May, time 5 p.m. Featuring the Anarchists, Code Black, and Life Force, together with Bees Hi-Fi. We gonna rock. Come on down to La Penca, Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. Tickets only $50. For tickets, please call Bees 779-1663, Code Black 359-1843, Anarchist 385-4315, or La Penca 373-3453. Return to Real Rock!
Le Grand Courant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Courant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Welcome back. So we taking this call one time. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Beautiful editorial. Every aspect of that editorial was accurate and wonderfully presented.
Thank you.
But I have a solution, and my solution can't come tonight because you don't have enough time. And even you will not agree with most of what I will say to bring about the solution. I will call you and I will remind you of this contribution here tonight, and I am going to give the raw, factual solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I like that because I am an individual who love once it comes to facts. I like that. And sometimes it does be hard, caller. Sometimes it does be hard to deal with a situation, but we had to deal with it in order to save this country. Welcome, caller.
Good day, good night.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, Corky, Jeffrey, and all the listeners.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
They catch the vaccine vegan, A.K. Pimpinian, lying in Parliament again. He say he never see the report, and so much time it was discussing in Parliament. It looked like he liked to go in Parliament and lie. You understand? The opposition leader lick him up and identify where it was and who had it, and it was given to Hilton guy and all kind of thing. No. Let me get to that report by Jones. I am honestly thinking that report was compromised. Your question will, why I say so? No, the Honorable Senator David Nackett said he went to the commissioner and gave them information with respect to the two boys, etc., etc. No, I want to put this in the public. The CEO of the Children's Authority is a lady by Mitchell, right? And she contacted somebody who is purported to be some leader, some gang or something like that, to help them find the boys. Why she didn't go to the police? The other question we have to ask, you knowing these boys plotting, coming up with a plan to escape, why didn't you put guardrails so they don't leave the compound? The other question is, why did you contact that nefarious man? You know why I believe that was done? To give the citizens an impression that these boys belong to a gang. The second thing is, why that happened? Because the boys, they squeal on them. And if the boys, they squeal on them, as WhatsApp guys say, too high official. And the fact that this is where Toja and Jacob had to go and find out who was those police, imitation police, that killed the boy. Was that a hit? Was that a setup? Was that a strategic plan to deflect from the citizens the real issue behind the boys and them? You understand what I'm saying? You take the country down a good track. You say you contacting people to help you, and you didn't call your partner, Toja, and tell him, look, help me protect these boys. Go on, look them up. Something nefarious about that action. They're protecting, they're continuing to protect. And you know, you understand, they have a say, are we boys? I hope it's not a are we boys in a cook, a God.
Thank you, Kola. Well, so we'll take some calls because we will be going to douglAR politics in a while. It's 13 minutes past. At 27 past, we'll be handing over to Archie in studio. So we'll take some calls. The number to call is 218-7762. Remember, there's fresh information on the public domain about $1.8 million check that is in a certain credit union. Welcome, caller.
Good night. Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night. Song like Cascade.
Good night. Cascade here.
Yeah, Cascade.
I want to tell this government that the police state that they build, I don't intend to live under it. And I know it have plenty youths.
Cascade, we hear you there. You hear him?
Nah. Right.
Cascade, we lost you there, Cascade.
Hello. All right.
Cascade, we lost you there. You gotta try back. We lost you there. Like, probably in a bad area. So, fresh information, ladies and gentlemen. 2019, alleged MTS checks allegedly gone into Foster Cummins' account. Also alleging credit union by the name of Ventia, and there is a number of problems inside of there. So we wait to hear what Keith Rowley have to say. And as I said before, my problem in this country is why these government officials not going to prison. Welcome, caller.
Cascade here.
Yeah, Cascade. We'll also just now.
Yes, I understand that. This government set up a police state. Must I put my finger in ink for next government to bring back these same police officers under their government? That would be spinning top in mud, you know. Because we have a corrupt police service, you know. And if we don't look into it, why I call it on people to rise up by any means necessary and defend this country from blood, you know, because blood has to move blood. I don't see it already. We're coming down. If you come out, because you have to ask them for permission to march.
So, Cascade.
You have to ask them permission to say what you want to say. That is not justice in this country. Where my freedom of speech and my freedom my constitutional rights to walk and constitutional rights to democracy to say where I want to say. I can't say it. Better I go in the United Nations office and look for asylum right there. Because they go kill me if I come out and say where I had to say. Yes, I'm dead, you know. And they can't hold everybody. The cells can't hold everybody. They can't kill everybody. Youths all out there, rise up, get up and get all the country back from under this criminal.
Thank you, Cascade. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we take this call, the views of the caller is not that of the radio station. Neither is that of the host of this program, nor the officials of douglAR Radio. Let's take this call. Right, so we lost that one. So the number to call, it's 218-7762. Welcome, caller.
It's me again. You know, your last caller was so correct. He said the youth today. Look at our youth today, Mr. Victor Roberts. What are these young boys doing today? Either they're cashing at Massey or some supermarket, or they're bagging groceries, or, you know, maybe they're working through the government, they get a connection and they get a little quick job. Or they're doing the what is the program where you go out there like a joint something, those programs where you put kids to work in the private sector and they work in the factories or whatever. This is the future of our young people. A very, very large segment of our society, hundreds of thousands of young boys and girls, and they're railroaded. That is not living your potential, you know, young people. All you have children. I have children too, and you want the best for your children, and sometimes your children fall off the ladder because, you know, maybe something happened and you go crazy, eh? But you have to kind of bite your tongue and raise your children. Because I'm a parent and I know. And I see children in this country and I want to just bawl. Because I'll tell you why. They're chiefing opportunities from our young people. Investing in education. They're not investing in good vocational programs that could take your child from preschool to high school to a good program and a good job, well-paying, where they could take a vacation when they want to and buy a house and have land. They don't want that. They don't want you to have that. Because look what they've done.
All right, caller, you had to wrap up here because we short on time today and we want to give everybody a chance.
Okay, I know. I want to just say something about the young people. Instead of committing crimes, let them rise up. Let them look at their situation in life. And you know something? They don't need to be in gangs. You don't need to be in gangs, guys. You could wear suits and tie and have your own business, a real business. But we have to rise up. This is madness if it continues. That is my comment.
Okay, thank you. Right, so the number to call is 218-7762, and what I will do going forward, I will give you just about a minute and a half to make your comments because we're going over to douglAR politics in a bit, all right? Welcome, caller.
Yes, this Silver Fox here. This Silver Fox inside.
Yeah, Fox. Go ahead quickly. Time short today.
Yes, the people in this country is sheep. The whole of Trinidad and Tobago is sheep. Right? Because what I see and what is going on in this country with what the government is doing to us, what we have to do when we got to work, we have to say good morning, boss, and we say, meh. We are standing up for nothing. We only talking, talk, sweet talk, bad talk. We don't want no talk. We want action. Let us get out there and stop Rowley once and for all. He's one man. He cannot be doing what he's doing us. We have no police. Jacob is a sellout. Jacob is a nobody. Jacob is a yes man. Jacob is not no police acting no commissioner. Jacob doesn't even know he head from his foot. If he don't know he walk. Jacob you're worse than Satan.
Thank you, Fox. We cut in today. Thank you very much. 218-7762. Make your calls now.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, time short this afternoon, so we will have to cut you at our discretion. Welcome, caller.
Hi, Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir.
Good night to you and the rest of the
Good night.
No, tune in.
Yeah, go ahead. We time short, so we...
I want to pay tribute. So we marked last week Tuesday in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to hear Anil because I had to go.
Right.
But listen now, we marked. He made that speaker sit down and listen to what he had to say. He said, you don't know I in this parliament longer than anyone of you. And he quoted from the Constitution.
Right.
Somebody raising a point out in the corner, they say, sit down and shut up. And he make a point, and he was right. The speaker had to tell the fella, sit down, because he reading the Constitution while Mark talking. They said the law when they want to pass to the marijuana now.
Yeah, yeah.
To take away the rights from the Auditor General. And they are appointing their own crew. You ever hear that? Report thing again?
Thank you very much, caller, but we're short on time today.
Yeah.
218-7762.
Rapid call.
Welcome.
A quick inside again, boy. Roberts. Give
Yeah,
me a
make
chance
it
to
quick,
sing
make
and
it quick.
Listen to me. The original vaccine fragrance said people in Shogunas. Remember that saying? Like those untoward behavior. Remember Buddhist cousin and things like that? What he say about Shogunas people?
Right.
Right. You know what happened now? All Balize card holders, you know what they like? Little. I wouldn't say it started with B.
Thank you, caller. Welcome, caller, inside.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir, good night.
One thing quickly also. Could you please try some way to put up the number on the screen for us? Because sometimes you might remember the number now.
All right, no problem.
Right. Listen, I want you to comment. Because I haven't heard you, maybe I missed it, but I want you to comment for me. What is your view on this issue concerning Foster Cummings, right? And especially with regards to the Prime Minister's response was it last week, I think? He responded to the allegations. Because the reason why I say that, right? He said one of his response was that he didn't see anything wrong in the report for him to act. In other words, to remove Foster Cummings. And he basically threw the responsibility or the lack of response in the lap of the police by saying if it is that they had information, why didn't they act? Now the question is why didn't the police act? Is it because they didn't have enough information, as he mentioned, or is it because they were instructed?
All right, caller. All right, I catch you. So let me get the answer to that. Thanks for the call. We kind of short on time tonight, right? So sorry about that. So the answer to that, caller, is simply when you have a commissioner of police or acting commissioner of police who is controlled by the political directorate, they cannot act on their own. They cannot act without consultation with the political directorate, which of course is a breach of the police service regulations, because they ought to be independent. And if they were independent, then that report would have gone through the chain and reached where it's supposed to reach, where the director of public prosecution would have given advice whether to charge or not to charge based on the information that come out of that. So don't study the Prime Minister and he hogwash and looking for a way out. That is just sarcasm in terms of throwing the blame across and escaping, because you will, if you notice and see the Prime Minister behavior over this 7 years, you will realize that every time he reaches in a corner and he's cornered, he always shifts the blame to someone else. That is nothing new. So I am saying that the police have a job to do. The director of public prosecution is the man, the buck stop with that individual, whether to recommend charges or not. And this is where the process must and the process will have to go. Welcome, caller.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
where in the world two government ministers will prove themselves from the cabinet over 200 times?
Right in Trinidad.
To have a prime minister presiding over this cabinet.
Right in Trinidad, caller. Caller, right in Trinidad. You ain't have to go far to look for that kind of behavior. Right in this jurisdiction. Welcome, caller.
What government allow and could advise the police? When a prime minister advising a police commissioner to do things, then the whole corrupt and the prime minister corrupt, then the whole service corrupt, who we should obey. Who should we obey? The cheese or the rat?
Thank you, Cascade. And that is an easy question to answer, Cascade. You have to keep the cheese away from the rat because these rats in this government, they're eating the cheese and the cheese paper. Welcome, caller.
Hey, good night, Victor.
Yes, sir. Good night.
And good night to the indomitable Corky.
Yes, my attorney friend. How are thou?
I am good, man. It's always good to hear you.
Same on my side. Same on my side.
I just joined you, so I just left a meeting. So I'm not sure what your topic is on, but if I may crave your indulgence, I will if I can speak on a matter